going on, everybody? It's Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, ProWrestlingAuthority.com, and I got a special guest with us today who's going to be fighting December 2nd on Titan FC 42 coming up on UFC Fight Pass. Dhiego Lima, the tough alumni. What's going on, brother?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, and you're actually down in New Orleans, you just said.
New Orleans, yeah. I'm here for 2 days. We're here for a wedding. So enjoying the views. You know, I'm actually going to go fishing at 5 in the morning tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it, man. It's a great city.
Well, I got a lot of people down in Brasilia that really enjoy the show. And for them who've never seen what New Orleans is like, what can you describe from what you've seen so far?
Man, I'm not really sure yet. It's different, you know, like everything here's so flat, you know, there's like no hills or anything like that.
The flat earth.
And, yeah, the houses are really close to the streets, man. So it's a little different, but you know, it's nothing crazy though, you know, just normal.
And you got a fight coming up, man, on December 2nd. I spoke with Jose Shorty Torres, who's on the card as well. There's going to be, 4 title fights, I'm pretty sure. It's action-packed. Everyone got to get UFC Fight Pass because they're killing it this year. What do you got going on in preparation for this fight? How's your fight camp been?
Absolutely, man. It's going to be a great card, man. 4 title fights. You know, I'm so happy we got the main event spot, man. So, you know, it's going to be a great show, man.
Yeah.
And, man, camp's been going great, man, you know. This fight was supposed to happen back in October. It was supposed to be October 29th, but then they had to postpone the show, you know, so they postponed it all to December. So I got the call, I think, it was like 3 weeks out from it. And then, you know, I was already peaking. I was already in great shape, and then just had to prolong it a little bit more. So, man, it's been an awesome camp, man. I was already in great shape. So it's been one of the best, you know, no worrying about anything, you know, just being calm, being in shape already, no stress. So, man, it was one of the best camps I've had, man. It's awesome. Still got 4 weeks to go, and, you know, I'm ready to go next week. So, looking forward to it, maintaining now, you know, just maintain, and it's going to be a great night.
And right when you picked up the Skype call, I saw that you're eating something. What were you chowing down on?
Man, I had some green beans, some chickpeas, some carrots, had some organic turkey, and some wild rice.
There's some good spots in New Orleans and like some home cooking that'll help with the stomach.
Right, yeah, but man, I gotta stay away from the salt. You know, I pack my bag, man. Anywhere I go, you know, I got my cooler, I got my stove. You know, I cook for myself everywhere I go. So that's something I take real serious is my diet. You know, so there won't be eating out for me, man. It sucks, but especially in a place like New Orleans. But you know, we gotta do what we gotta do, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of the fighters that I talk with got after their fights, they'll go out to McDonald's. Do you have anything that you like to do after you go in there and perform?
After, man, I just get a little bit of everything, man. I'll go to Taco Bell, to McDonald's, I'll go to Wendy's, I'll get something each and put it all on the table, and I just go, man.
So, of course, you're 12-4 right now. And 3 of those wins by knockout, 4 by submission. You're on a 2-fight win streak. And everyone remembers you, of course, from Team Edgar on Ultimate Fighter 19. What was that experience like?
Man, that was the best experience of my life, man. It really was, you know. Just being in a place for 6 weeks and, like, no outside anything, you know. Just no phones, no TV. Just being in there training, you know. It's just what every fighter can ask for, man. So it actually made it so much easier, you know, because you just had no worries, man. So all you had to worry about is just show up and fight, you know. So it was awesome, man. We met so many great people, you know. Frankie Edgar brought his whole team, man. Like, his coaches were amazing. And, you know, we met a lot of things, you know, just something you can never forget, man. All those memories, it was something else, man.
Well, right now, one of the stars on the current season 24, is Tim Elliott, who represented the flyweight title belt. And in his place right now, Jose Shorty Torres. Have you been following along with the season?
Oh, of course, man. That's one of the best seasons ever, man. Those guys are throwing down.
One of the best seasons. Every fight's been a finish. I didn't catch last night's fight,
so
don't ruin it for me.
I read the preview. I read the updates after, but I haven't watched it yet. So
I can't
I'm
wait.
looking forward to watching that one.
It's a great season. Were you always a fan of The Ultimate Fighter?
Oh yeah, I was, man, from day one. And he
From
was, man,
Forrest
I
Griffin
always told my
Bonner.
friend, man, I had a best friend back in the day, and I always told him, I was like, man, I'm gonna be on the show one day. I'm telling you right now, as soon as it came out, man, I always told him, I was like, I'm gonna be on the show. And then, we separated. He moved somewhere, I moved somewhere different, and then, one day I called him, I was like, guess what? He's like, you're gonna be on it. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
Yeah,
really cool, man. It's something I always watched.
you're the same age as me, 27 years old. It's kind of a weird age because we're like in between, I feel like I'm having a midlife crisis sometimes. I'm like, am I at where I want to be at right now? Am I heading where, you know what I mean? So,
Right, for sure.
everything that's going on in your life right now, how have you been outside of fighting?
Man, outside of fight has been great, man. We own a gym here. We own an American Top Team here.
Yes,
So
that's right.
we're just trying to grow it, working on that. So I'm constantly there, man. I'm all day there. If I'm not training, I'm there. I teach some class in the afternoon, but it's pretty much staying around with our members, talking to everyone, just creating that great vibe. And that's what maintain members is all about. So we're just growing there, man, and it's going really good, man. We got over 300 members right now, so we're kicking ass. So that's for the future, When I'm fighting no more, we have that to go back. So we're just building it now and enjoying this fight career as it, because they all love it. So it's going real good, man. Kids are doing good. They're growing. I got a 10-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old, but from here to January, their birthdays are all coming up. So December for us, November, December is a tough month. I'm a little bummed that they got moved back to December, but it's our life, man. We got to do what we got to do.
In 2016, man, it's been one hell of a year for MMA. New York getting legalized. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, and finally,
Finally,
fine.
right?
It's about damn time, man. It's like it's Madison Square Garden. All those guys like Weidman, Frankie Edgar, these guys live there, man. It's like just that's huge for them, man. I'm really excited for them, man. Just all the guys that live there, that are from there. So it's about time. Madison Square Garden, man. I knew about that place when I was a little kid in Brazil.
Oh,
So that's
speaking of, man, your brother, I mean, refresh my memory. You and your brother came over here from Brazil, uh,
right.
correct? And how's he doing?
Oh, he's great, man. He's got the title fight next week. He's heading out next week. We'll go to Israel.
Douglas,
Oh,
right? Douglas
yes.
Lima.
Yeah, he's fighting Koreshkov next week again, number two, for the belt. So, yeah, he's doing great, man. It's going to be a great fight. The last time they fought, Douglas wasn't 100%, and this time he's going to give him a great fight, man. I can't wait to see that one.
Well, for all of my listeners watching right now, of course, we're doing live, and I appreciate that. What can they expect in your fight come December 2nd, which is going to be live on UFC Fight Pass?
Man, it's gonna be fireworks, man. Like Jackson, he wanted to fight with me. When he got signed, and then I wasn't ready at the time, and then when he was ready, I wasn't ready. So we were supposed to fight already, but it didn't happen. But this is the fight we both wanted, man. There's been a lot of hype on him and me. The UFC. A lot of people talking like, man, maybe one of these guys are next to go get the big call again. So there's been a lot of hype, man. And this is the fight we both wanted, man. We feel like we're the best out there. And that's where we fight, man. So it's gonna be fireworks. We're gonna get in there and we're gonna throw down, man. He comes to fight, I come to fight. There's really no animosity, nothing like that. It's just we're gonna get in there, we're gonna throw down, man. He knows it, I know it, and let's do it. Let's do it, man. Main event, we gotta put on, man.
And what study goes in? Like, once you find out who your opponent is, what goes through your mind? Do you want to know as much as you can about him, or do you try to really not get too much in your head about it?
It depends. It depends on the opponent. If I'm fighting like a really big wrestler or something like that, I'll watch a lot of tape on him. Just because it's different. If I'm
Yeah.
fighting a very good boxer or somebody that's had a big background before, I'll do a little bit more studying. But a guy like him, he's just well rounded. So it's a great kid. I love those guys because I don't need to focus on them. I need to focus on myself. If I can do all the stuff I can do in training, I'll be fine. So camps like this, I'm just worried about myself. I'm just do the best I can. I just in the best shape that I can. I work on everything throughout the whole camp, and wherever the fight goes, I'll be ready. It doesn't don't know what's gonna happen. We're both well rounded, and We'll see, man. I'll just be ready for anything. I'm focusing on myself. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about what he's gonna bring, man. I'm just gonna go forward and I'm gonna throw down, man.
So when you first told me that you were in New Orleans, I was like, wow, what a week to be down in one of the most supernatural places in the world, so to say. This season of American Horror Story, which also airs Wednesday night at like 10 p.m., same time as Ultimate Fighter. All the good shows are Wednesday night at 10 p.m. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah,
It's based down in New Orleans. How was your Halloween?
man. The Halloween I wasn't here yet. I actually just got here yesterday, which
Oh,
was a
all right.
Wednesday. So, I wasn't here for Halloween, and man, I had to teach that night. So my wife had to take the kids out. So when I got home, the table was full of candy already. So I didn't really enjoy it as much, And being in camp, it's a little difficult. So, but they enjoyed it. They got their costumes, and when I got home, the table was full of candy that I couldn't touch. So it's rough. It's rough.
So what did your kids dress up as? Like I asked every fighter so far, what they used to dress up as little kids. Jose Shorty said that he used to dress up as like the Power Ranger. Then I interviewed Bilal Muhammad. He said Power Ranger. What did you used to dress up as, and what were your kids this year?
Man, in Brazil, it's actually, you don't really dress up in Brazil. It's not as big as it is here, in Brazil. So we don't really celebrate it in Brazil. But here, my kids, or my 2-year-old, she was like a bubblegum princess. My son, he was 6. He was Spider-Man. And
There
then
you go.
my daughter, she's 10. She was some type of prom queen vampire princess. So
Oh, I
a
love it.
little
I love
crazy,
that.
but they look good. They all look good.
So you were born in Brazil. How often do you visit down there? Do you have family down there, or have you really not returned since?
Yeah, man. I try to go every year, but it's been tough now, man. Being out of the UFC, no more UFC money. It's tough, man. I have 3 kids and my wife as well. So for me to go, man, just for tickets, it's like 6 grand just for tickets. So it's a little rougher right now, but I usually try to go every year or so, and then if the family can't go, I'll try to go by myself just for at least 2 weeks, just to see my parents. All my family's down there now, man. Right?
Okay.
It's just here in the States. It's just me and my brother. So my mom, dad, grandma, everybody's down there. So it's tough, man. It's tough. I wish it was easier, but it's tough.
Do they like watching your fights? How do they feel about all of this?
Oh, definitely, man. They're there.
Yeah,
My dad
Grandma
is
watches
glued
the
to the
fights.
TV. Oh yeah, man. My dad
Yes.
finds a way to stream it somehow. My last one was a little tough. My brother's wife had to Skype them. So then my dad put his computer on the
We've
TV.
all
So
had to do that.
yeah,
Yeah, we've all had to
Skype
do it.
from the computer here. So that's the way they watch it. They'll find a way. Like Bellator, they stream it there, so it's easy. The UFC is easy for them too, so they watch it all. But man, they keep up with it all. They watch it all.
I mean, it's not only the UFC now. We're starting to realize, yeah, UFC was one of the front runners, but we're seeing a lot of guys sign with Bellator. We're seeing big names sign with World Series of Fighting. What do you think about all this? Not all the eyes are on UFC now. I'm going to Bellator tomorrow night. I can't wait. I'm excited
Uh,
for that. Would you be interested in signing anywhere else further down the road if you keep picking up these wins like you are?
Right, man. Yeah, we'll see. It's great now that all these organizations are coming up, man. It really is. It's just one. It's just the UFC took so much away from all of them. But man, they got some great fighters. They got big organizations. So, but man, for me, no, man. For me, I have to go back to the UFC, man. For me, I have such a bad taste in my mouth, man. Losing 3 fights like that, which are fights that I know I could have won. It's just with me, it was mental, man. I was just so beat when I was there. I pretty much lost before I even got in the cage. So I haven't showed anything that I do there, man. So I have to. I just need it for myself. I need to prove it to myself, man. I don't need to do it for anybody else. I need it for myself, man. It's just I have to get back in there, man. Need it for myself.
Well, you had some exciting fights on the Ultimate Fighter. I remember you got Performance of the Season on season 19. Do you still keep in touch with any of those guys, like Eddie Truck? Do you talk to him at all, or?
Oh, for sure, man. We have a group text still, man, from our group.
Oh,
We
really?
stay
That's
in
awesome.
touch every time somebody fights. I stay in touch with Eddie, man, for sure. Gutter, all those guys, man. They're really cool. Corey, Corey's doing so good now. I'm always messaging him back and forth. So it's pretty awesome, man. We stayed in touch, man. We were really close in there, we really was. So, and it was a great season, man, and that's it, man.
What was the hardest part about living in the house with all the guys for that long? I mean, everyone's cutting weight. You got to fight like back to back. The first fight is the most important fight. You're just like kind of, it's a hurricane going in there and coming out the other end. What was the hardest part for you?
It was really wasn't that bad, man. I planned, see the way I planned, man, because I know I'm pretty good friends with Clint Hester, and he did season 17, and he told him, man, this is the game plan, dude. You go, you fight. The fight to get in the house, he told me, make sure you watch everybody else, and then like the second week, you just call out the guy that you think you can beat, man. And that's what he did. And then I try to follow that into it, but I didn't even really need to do it, man. For me, everything felt good. Like we fought to get in the house, and then the next week was a light heavyweight fight. And then after the fight, they picked me to fight. So I was the first 185er. So, man, it worked out perfect because after that, I knew when I was going to be fighting again. So, I could chill I chilled for like 2 weeks. Of course, I trained and all, but, I knew I wasn't fighting. So, it worked out great for me,
I mean,
So
I love
had a
every
game plan
single
in my
season.
head before I went, and it just that game plan fell through, and I didn't even have to do anything.
Every single season I've absolutely loved. I'm a diehard, so anything MMA, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
as we get towards the end of this interview, I have to ask you, or my listeners will kill me, UFC 205, Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez. Who are you siding with here, and how do you see it going down?
Man, I'm going with Eddie, man.
Okay.
I'm going with Eddie. Connor's really good too, but man, the thing is, I think Eddie's gonna keep that pressure. He's pretty much gonna try to do what he did to Pettis. He's probably gonna go to his wrestling. He's gonna take him down. He's just gonna stay in his face. I see Conor will probably do good round 1 and 2, and if Conor doesn't finish him in those rounds, I don't see him going 5 rounds with Eddie, man. Like I don't think he's gonna be able to keep up with that pace. But we'll see what happens. Conor's always got something up his sleeves, man. The guy's good, so. We'll see, but with Eddie Alvarez training with Mark Henry now, man, and I can't go against that. I think Mark Henry is going to get him ready. I know it.
One of the most underrated coaches out there, man. He's
for
doing
sure,
great.
man. One of the best. Yeah, one of the best out there for sure.
And also, man, your coach Frankie Edgar is going to be fighting Jeremy Stevens. What do you think about that? Who you got there?
Man, I'm going Frankie, man. I just think he's going to be able to too much footwork.
Yeah.
Stevens is a stationary guy. He waits for the big power, and I don't think he's going to be able to catch him. He's going to move around, and then second and third round, he's probably going to go to his takedowns, and we'll see. But I'm going with Frankie decision there.
There you go. All right, so what I usually like to do at the end of the interview, if there's anything that I missed, if you have any shout-outs, anything that you want your opponent to know about you, anything at all, man, the floor is yours now, brother.
Man, that's it, man. I just need my opponent to know that we're going to get in a fist fight.
There we go. And I'll actually be talking with him in
we're getting in
25 minutes.
That's it, man. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DH Lima MMA. And that's it, man. Thanks, everyone, guys, for watching. And, it's going to be a great show December 2nd.
Thanks for coming on Pure Evil MMA. I cannot wait for December 2nd. Make sure you guys all check it out. It's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. I really appreciate you coming on, brother.
No problem. Thank you, my man.
And as right before you hang up, can you just say, hey, guys, it's Dhiego Lima, and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA?
Hey, guys, this is Dhiego Lima, and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA. Ooh.
Thanks, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man.
No problem, man. Thank you.
There we go, guys. Dhiego Lima, and I'll actually be speaking with his opponent coming up at 4 p.m., which exactly is in 25 minutes. So hang around, guys. I'll be streaming live in no time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back at 4. Behave yourselves.